Thank you very much, Chandrajit. Thank you, all the distinguished colleagues, ministers from various African nations, our dear friends from across the African continent, Mr. Noel Tata, Chairman of the CII Africa Committee, other participants on this very important 15th CII-Exim Bank Digital Conclave on the India-Africa Partnership Project. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm indeed delighted to be participating in this very important subject, enhancing India's trade and investment with Africa through bilateral, regional, continental level partnership. It's a very wide-ranging subject. But as they say in Africa, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And having heard all my colleague ministers today, I am convinced that working together as friends yields the best results that are mutually beneficial for our people both in India and Africa. As Mr. Noel Tata rightly pointed out, India and Africa have been connected through various cultural, political, and trade engagements that date back not just before independence, but several centuries. We share the spirit of freedom, which is reflected in our respective fight against colonialism in the 20th century. In the wake of the current pandemic crisis, our collective future has become filled with uncertainty, volatility, and vulnerability. The spirit we have exhibited today, the spirit of universal brotherhood, under which we have all come together to join hands and support each other during this crisis, is indeed commendable, remarkable. Even during this period, India has been a trusted partner of our African friends, and I can assure you of our continued friendship, of our continued engagement and support to all our African friends, just like we sent medicines to over 35 African countries during the severe pandemic period. I can assure you, India can be looked at as a trusted partner even during the future as we work together to rebuild our economies, as we work together to bring back livelihoods and ensure faster progress of the African countries and India for mutual benefit. In fact, I must appreciate the effort put in by the CII team led by Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee for organizing this year's engagement in the digital mode and having this wonderful program covering various aspects of cooperation between India and Africa. CII-Exim Bank Conclave over the years has become a catalyst in strengthening our partnership across a wide spectrum of industrial, economic, and developmental sectors. Excellencies, your distinguished participation in this conclave reflects the traditional India-Africa friendship and partnership that has been built over the years. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi accords top priority to Africa for India's foreign and economic policy, and there has been a qualitative shift in our long-standing ties. Even during the course of the pandemic, the Prime Minister has spoken to many leaders of African countries, including the South African President, who is the chair of the African Union, and expressed solidarity and assured all support in Africa's fight against coronavirus. Friends, the world is facing a very severe crisis. It threatens to reverse the developmental progress made in the last few years. In fact, economies are expected to face severe recession unheard of in the last few decades. I do believe that Africa has the potential to emerge as a global manufacturing hub, especially after the realization of the single market covering the entire Africa in the post-COVID world. Let me congratulate Africa for the launch of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement in July last year and commissioning and formal handing over of the AfCFTA Secretariat building to the African Union Commission by Ghana on 17th August 2020. We believe India's bilateral trade with Africa, which has seen a tenfold increase in the last 2 decades, growing from about $7 billion to nearly $67 billion in the last 20 years, has tremendous potentials of further growth in the years to come. And I do believe we should set very ambitious targets for our trade, both in goods and services. India so far is the 5th largest investor in the African continent, with cumulative investments of over $54 billion in the last few years. Sizable investments have been made from India in oil and gas, mining, banking, textiles, and other sectors, creating huge number of jobs for local African citizens. Indian investments in Africa contribute to the development of intra-Africa trade, regional value chains, and increase Africa's exports to third countries. While many Indian companies have participated in Africa's infrastructure and industrial sectors, I can see before my eyes huge scope for manifold increase in Indian investments in the wake of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Indian companies can now benefit by investing in Africa for accessing the unified African market created by AfCFTA and also creating supply chain between India and Africa. Indian investors in Africa, in particular in the 33 least developed countries, can benefit by exporting to India at zero duty under India's unilateral duty-free tariff preference scheme, which provides preferential market access on over 98% of India's total tariff lines. Therefore, I believe we can mutually benefit through establishment of India-Africa value chains in many areas such as textiles, pharmaceuticals, automobiles, agro-processing, and something which is India's recognized strength all over the world, information and communication technology. This will boost trade and investment partnership between India and Africa. At present, we have a number of different comprehensive partnership arrangements with the countries around the world and are in the process of finalizing a comprehensive economic cooperation and partnership agreement with Mauritius. Recently, India and the South African Customs Union have decided for early resumption of the preferential trading agreement negotiations. In the near future, India will be happy to work more closely with the African Continental Free Trade Zone also. We will continue to support Africa through lines of credit in priority sectors such as agriculture, irrigation, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, digital technologies, solar electrification, power plants, transmission lines, cement plants, technology parks, and railway infrastructure, which I handle in India. As of June 2020, India has committed 12.7 billion US dollars for 40 countries in Africa on highly favorable terms, representing 41% of the cumulative operational LOCs of India Exim Bank globally. Two digital initiatives are also on the pilot mode in Africa today: the E-Vidya Bharati distance education and the E-Arogya Bharati distance health initiatives. India has taken a leadership role in the International Solar Alliance, and I urge all African countries to work along with the ISA, and India and France and other member countries will support this effort for solarization and promoting clean and renewable energy in Africa in a big way. We are also committed to supporting human resource development in Africa through offer of scholarships and also technology transfers in digital education to further leverage the benefit of the internet and the digital technologies to take education to the remotest corners of Africa so that every citizen of Africa can benefit with high quality education. India's relationship with Africa has been advanced using consultative and responsive mechanisms under the framework of India-Africa Forum Summit. 41 heads of state and governments participated in the third India-Africa Forum Summit held in New Delhi in October 2015. In the intervening years, India has stepped up the efforts to reinforce the political, diplomatic, and economic ties with different African countries. And it is a very interesting fact that 34 outgoing visits from India to African countries at the level of President, Vice President, and Prime Minister have been held in the last 5 years. To enhance diplomatic engagement, our government has decided to open 18 new missions in Africa, of which 9 are already operational, taking the total of Indian missions in Africa to 47. In fact, if I may say, together we represent the youngest population in the world. Africa and India are truly the future of the planet. And what defines our partnership is developing together as equals. I assure all my colleagues from different African countries that our model of cooperation with Africa is consultative and participative. Our approach is non-prescriptive. We do not give sermons. We act truly as your partner, as your brother nation, as your friend. And I think this will help us improve our economic ties in the future. Nelson Mandela had very appropriately said education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I urge upon all African friends and nations to realign the education ties between African countries and India so that together we can become a nursery for our youth and empower them with skills, knowledge, technology, and training for growth of the African countries. Let us build on the Study in India initiative, which already covers 30 African countries. Let us take this partnership beyond strategic concerns and economic benefits and make this the partnership for greater goals and shared prosperity and security. Friends, once again, quoting Nelson Mandela, after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. We have achieved a lot in our Indo-African engagement, partnership and friendship, but we have yet only touched the tip of the iceberg. We have a long way to go before we can truly report to our respective people that we have achieved the shared prosperity of 2.5 billion Indian and African citizens. Let us work together for a better future for our future generations. Let us work together to meet the aspirations of the young people of India and Africa. Let us strengthen our ties, our brotherhood, our partnership, and truly make this Indian-African togetherness, oneness, as the defining feature of the globe in the 21st century. My best wishes, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, esteemed colleagues, to you, your families, your near and dear ones, and the people of your countries. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and take care. Thank you very much. Namaskar.